Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Go-To Food Podcast, brought to you by Blink, which is the UK company. They're revolutionising the POS game.
Aren't they?
And today we're delighted to be joined by, well, one of my favourite chefs, food writers, multi-award-winning cookbook author, the wonderful Alison Roman, straight in from New York City.
Oh, hello. That was a really nice introduction.
Oh, we're still going.
Freddy's been quite giggly.
We're sat in your hotel. Well, is it your hotel dinner? We don't need to get into the money, show the details. A beautiful hotel.
I'm not staying here.
On a Sunday afternoon, admiring your newest book, which I've been cooking from, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, the mushroom little dish. I can't stop making it.
How many
But,
times has Rosie had that?
Rosie's had it 4 times.
Is she? I hope she
Third
is welcoming it each time.
No, she loves it.
Okay,
she absolutely loves it. 4 times I was thinking, do I do a twist on it? We've had 4 times in a week, and she goes, no.
You don't fuck with Alison Roman.
You don't fuck. No, you don't. Yeah, you don't.
But I do encourage making it your own.
Alison, in this instance, it's better that Freddy doesn't fuck with it.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's working with in that kitchen.
Yeah.
So.
Working with some incredible tools, but yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, how does it feel to be back in London?
I love being in London. I love it here so much. I have to come once, though, when I'm not here for work, because there's just simply not enough time.
No.
Yeah.
But
Have you been
love
out?
it here.
Have you eaten somewhere?
Yeah, I've been out and about.
Where have we been?
I've been to Cafe Deco. For
Nice.
lunch. Loved.
Friend of
Yeah.
the show.
Yeah, friend of the show.
Yeah.
Friend of me.
Come on then. What did you...
Friend of everyone's, yeah.
Just when you're giving us the place, can you just... Any highlights that you've eaten as well?
From Cafe Deco?
Yeah, let's start there.
I had their classic little of mayonnaise with
Yeah.
the anchovy, obviously.
Gorgeous.
I gave my little baby an anchovy. He loved it. It was very cute.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
A
First
gorgeous
anchovy?
little... No, God, no,
No, okay,
please. He's
right.
my son.
No,
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
I just
Please.
thought, nice for London
You've
to
seen the
have
book.
something.
A gorgeous little like duck confit salad with some sort of, I think there was like a plum or a cherry situation. A beautiful little quiche. Well, no, it was a frittata. They called it a frittata, but it felt like a quiche without a crust.
They're lying to you.
Yeah, there was like much cream in there. I could
Yeah,
tell.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, and a gorgeous beef stew.
Yeah.
Like one of the best I've ever had.
She's a
It
great
was
cook.
This is a
unbelievable.
great PR exercise
Yeah.
for Cafe Deco.
Unbelievable.
We're meant
Just
to
like
be
a
talking about your amazing
charming.
book.
To me, it felt like everything I love about Rochelle Canteen, just in a different neighborhood with a
Nice.
different vibe. And
Well,
slightly...
he used to work at Rochelle Canteen.
Oh, really?
We were
One
with
of my favorite restaurants.
We were with
So
Margaret
good.
Henderson on the weekend.
Oh, the weekend.
Or was it in the week? I can't remember.
It was in
It's
the
been a long old week. But she was actually claiming you never worked there.
Freddy, we don't need to cover old ground.
well, I'm going to fact check after we
Yeah.
wrap
We
this.
don't need to cover
No,
old
you did
ground.
work there. We may be biased. We feel that London is the greatest food city in the world.
I couldn't agree more. I think it is the best restaurant city that I'm not going to say in the world because there's a lot of places I haven't been in the world, but of the places
same.
I've been to in the world,
Okay.
I'm going to say it's one of the best restaurant cities in the world.
Yeah.
And I draw the
huge.
distinction there because food is too big of a word.
Yeah.
Like in that, I think New York is a better restaurant city. LA is a better food city.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Like,
I'm with you.
but I actually think that London does both food and restaurant very well.
We try our best.
Well, you're very much the Queen of New York.
Oh, God, thank
Here
you.
we have Lady Di, aka Dinah Henry,
Yes.
another friend of the show.
Yes,
You
she's-
saw her on Thursday, didn't you?
I love her. No, I didn't see her on Thursday, but I wish I
She
had.
was lying to us.
I know. I think she was going to come, but maybe didn't.
What happened?
She couldn't wait.
She was tired, maybe.
Spent half the podcast talking about how excited she was to go.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll have to ask Sarah what happened.
Oh, Lady Di. Anyway, she's a genius food writer like yourself, but she never cut it in the kitchens. But not many people know. Well, maybe some people do, but
Yeah.
like, you were a professional chef.
I was, yeah. I think people assume that I wasn't because I'm good at Instagram or something.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's sort of like, or I'm a woman or some combination of the two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So what? Can you give us a little potted history through
Just
some
like
of those
of
kitchens?
my life?
Not your whole life,
Oh.
because that'd be too much.
That'd be simply fun.
that'd be glorious.
What can I give you?
In kitchens.
In kitchens.
So where did you start?
I started working in Los Angeles in kitchens. I dropped out of college when I was 19. I was going to go to culinary school. I knocked on the back door of a restaurant that I was eating at the time
Yeah.
because my boyfriend at the time, his parents would pay for us to go there. It was a restaurant I couldn't afford. Obviously, I didn't have a
Nice.
job. But I dropped out of college, knocked on the back door of this restaurant, was like, I need a job while I'm in culinary school. I was like very on the precipice of going to culinary school, like enrolling. And he basically was like, well, the chef isn't here. I'm the pastry chef. I don't think you should go to culinary school. It's a waste of your money
Yes.
because most people go and then they decide they hate working in restaurants because it's really hard and you don't make any money. But you could work for me, see if you like it, and if you still want to go to culinary school, you can. And I was like, okay. So he hired me for $7.25 an hour, and I started working in the pastry department because that was the only job available. And then I just kept working in the restaurants.
Was
and I
that Frisson?
It was a restaurant called Sona,
Right, okay.
which is no longer, just like refusal is no longer. But, you know, not rare for a restaurant to just no longer exist. I mean, it's 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And 21 years ago now, actually. Wow. But it was a great restaurant. It was like very, very cool restaurant. It was like tasting menu, like a hot young chef, like husband and wife duo,
Cool.
like James Beard Award winner, Food and Wine Best New Chef, like every award you could win, he was winning. It was like long haired, like surfer guy. Like it was very counterculture vibe. Really small, tight kitchen, very the Bear.
Yes.
Like eye roll, but very the Bear.
Yeah.
You know? But like it was. And
Yeah.
so when I watched that show, I was like, this is too close.
Too close to home.
Yeah.
Is this David Myers, right?
It was David Myers.
Beautiful man.
Yeah, beautiful man.
But terrifying. In a way.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was very intense.
Yeah.
I presume he still is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he moved to Asia? Tokyo?
He did.
Somewhere else?
Yeah, he
I'm
got out.
shocked at your
He got out.
knowledge here.
Yeah, well, he got out. I mean, yeah.
I'm literally shook by this.
Yeah. Well, you got to do.
But yeah, it was
hard not to.
really intense. It was like a 9-person crew, and the whole kitchen was about as big as this room, and we changed the menu like every other week. And
Beautiful.
he let the cooks basically like come to the menu meetings, and we would come and be like, "This is what we want to put on the menu." We would all get to the office at like noon, 1 p.m., and we would sit and read cookbooks in the library, and then we would get into the kitchen at 3 p.m. and start prepping for service, and then we'd leave at like 1 a.m. and come back and do it again.
Do it again.
That was it.
Did it make sense to you immediately? Like, were you good at it? Yeah, right.
I mean, I cried every day.
Yeah.
I hated. I mean, I was so bad. I fucked up every day. I was not good at it.
Sounds like
But
you.
I knew I would be. I was like, I'm so bad at this, but I like it so much, and I care so much about it that I'll learn.
Yeah.
And like you can't teach someone to give a shit, but you can teach someone how to do something.
100%.
Yeah.
Did you realise at that time, though, through that intensity, that you wanted to be working in a more relaxed environment? I mean, maybe take away the chaos, but
No.
no.
I wanted a more intense environment.
Really?
Actually, I started working in the bakery
Yeah.
across the street, and it was too slow for me. And I would like, I remember walking across the street and like delivering like the mignardies to the restaurant, because we would like prepare them in the bakery, and I would deliver them at like 4 p.m. before service started. And walking into the kitchen and like how intense and like kind of gruff and rude all the line cooks were, and like everyone was really quiet and serious, and the intensity and like the pace, I was like, that's where I want to be.
what you need.
I was so bored at the bakery. I was
Yeah.
like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to be here. I want to be there. And I told my boss, I said, if a position ever opens up like in the pastry department or like prep cook or whatever at the restaurant, like I'd rather be there. And there were only 2 positions available in the pastry department. It was 2 cooks, and that was it. And I think like 9 months into my job, somebody put in their notice, and he's like,
straight
do you
in.
want the job? I had no business being there. I was so unqualified, but he was like such a kind and generous person who like really saw potential, but I also think really believed in like what I just said, which is that like you can teach somebody how to do something, but you can't teach them to give a shit. And he was like, this person really cares and wants to be here.
Any nightmare days you can recall for us? We always ask.
No, because this was 20 years ago, and I can't remember what happened last week.
You blocked it out. You
unfortunately.
blocked it out.
But again, like it was a lot of like burning creme anglaise, like taking a whole tray of chocolate tarts and like dropping them in the middle of the street, and like putting a like deli cup container into a giant Canberra of cocoa powder, and the cocoa powder goes everywhere, and you're like, fuck me. And like just like small humiliations daily of just not knowing how to do stuff, and like the rhythm of a kitchen that over time you just become second nature.
Was there a good post-shift culture? Did you guys go out into all
Yes.
that? Yeah.
But
Take
I
us through
was-
like an early, like a sort
Well,
of an
I
average
wasn't
night.
21. I was the youngest person there by several years. And
Okay.
so everybody would go to the pub.
Yes.
We called it a bar.
Yeah.
And there was only one place that we could go that they wouldn't card me. So I kind of would just like pray that that's where they wanted to go. Because if they didn't go there, I couldn't go. And then I was like left out.
Ugh.
And so I know.
That's why they should
Single
change the
tier.
drinking rules to 18.
I know. Exactly. That's what
Get
I'm
with
saying.
the
Very old.
times.
Yeah.
But on my 21st, I celebrated my 21st birthday there right before I left.
Lovely.
And I went to a strip club with everybody.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Good food in the strip club?
No food.
But that's the thing, right?
Well, no,
it?
it's,
Strip clubs
it's,
got
great food.
It's
No, go on.
state by state,
Right.
the strip club rules. It's like,
Right.
and also nudity by nudity. It's like, if full nude, then
No buffet.
no
Have a
food.
steak.
But
Oh,
if
really?
topless only, then they have to, or maybe a full nude, they have to
full
provide
nude
food or
canapé.
something.
Full nude
Yeah.
canapés, isn't it?
I don't
Full nude
exactly
canapés.
know the rules, but there's like
I'm sorry for my naivety in asking
It's
the
okay.
question.
Well, I know.
I don't know.
Just before, obviously, early memories. San Fernando Valley, right? I want to take you back there. What are you eating around the table? What did the Roman family...
It depends. Was I at my mom's house? Was I at my dad's house? A child of divorce? No.
nice.
My
please.
mom was. We were making a lot of like salmon with rice pilaf and asparagus or artichokes, steamed artichokes. It was like
gorgeous.
that to me, or like Greek salad. There was like grilled steak with, lots of asparagus and steamed artichokes.
And are these things like thrown together, or are they important? Are they like a talking point? Are you all discussing what you're going to have?
No, like she had like a few things in her repertoire and did them really well, and like that's kind of what we would have. It's like if she said she was making trout, I knew which trout we were having. We were having the trout with the breadcrumbs. If we were having tri-tip, I knew which tri-tip we were having. It's like she would have people over occasionally, like on Fridays or Saturdays, and so from then it was like she would maybe branch out and cook things a little bit differently.
Yeah.
Right.
At my dad's house, it was sort of like a similar thing. We'd have like chicken with like chicken marsala. We'd have like salmon with something. It was like a lot of like, it was California,
Yeah.
it was like a lot of like
California.
protein, vegetables.
Were you getting behind the pans or not?
No,
Never?
definitely not. No, not until I was like 16 or 17. I started cooking for myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was like an after school activity. It was basically to procrastinate, to avoid homework.
Yeah, nice.
Well, you guys obviously both professional chefs, both worked in professional kitchens, same sort of era of cooking as well. You've also both used social media to like drive your incredible success now. That's also giving you a bit of kudos.
Yeah.
But what do you make of all these TikTok dancing chefs nowadays? When you were a professional chef in a restaurant,
Yeah.
could you ever imagine being able to get away with sort of having your phone out in the kitchen?
Fuck no.
No.
Absolutely not. If you wanted to use your phone, you had to like. First of all, phones didn't exist. Cell phones didn't exist when I started working in restaurant kitchens. I think, is that true? 20 years ago, did we have cell phones? We had like
We had
on the
Sony
cusp of
Ericssons.
we had like
Ericssons.
flip phones.
Yeah.
And you had to
I had a
keep them in your
Motorola.
locker.
You had a Motorola?
I did.
Yeah.
Shelf.
Brag.
Yeah.
Okay. You had to keep them in your locker.
Yeah.
And you could only look at them after your shift or before your shift or like during family meal.
Yeah.
And you couldn't, you definitely couldn't have them out at all. But someone asked me this the other day. Someone asked me like a variation on that question, like what would you do if you were in charge, or like if you had, you were running a kitchen and your line cooks wanted to create content on the line. And it's kind of like the same question I get as a parent now. And it's like, what are you going to do when your kids want to use a phone in school? And it's like, and when all their friends are using phones. And it's like, well, if all the other restaurants, line cooks are using their phone, and then people are going to those restaurants and those restaurants become successful because those line cooks are using their phones to advertise the fucking restaurant. I don't know, man. I
Brilliant. I just don't know how they're doing it.
I don't know how.
Like when you're in service and you're going down, yet they're making
sure
sort of filming content. You're thinking,
yeah.
how are you what's going on?
I think it's like a third eye and like a fifth limb, and people are just like well versed in doing shit now in the way that like our brains aren't. But I also think that I can't explain it because I'm not witnessing it.
No.
I'm sort of the mind that like if you can get your shit done and it looks good and it tastes good and you're not going down, like you can do whatever the fuck you
Do
want.
whatever you want.
Well, now with your little meta glasses you've invested in.
Oh God,
Bit
no!
easier.
You have?
Yes.
For
I've been
why?
inspired by Michael Barrymore. You probably don't know who Michael Barrymore is, do you?
No.
He used to present Stars in Their Eyes. No, that was a different one. What did he used to present?
I don't know.
Anyway,
What are you using your little glasses for?
just for filming content for Freddie and I, and eat and
Yeah, we tried doing it at an OSIT restaurant in Somerset the other day, but it was too dark. So anyway, that's by the way.
We're at the early days in it. My point
Does
is
it work
there's tools out there.
for
It's
you?
unbelievable.
And you like it?
Alison, I recommend getting
You
some.
got some slow-mos of Margot Henderson showing you around the kitchen.
I think like, no, I won't.
No, just no, Ben. Anyway, you then headed to New York. We all want to go there, the Big Apple. Pursue a dream. You're sort of like Oliver Twist. I know you don't want to go see Oliver the Musical when you're over here, but he went to London to seek his fortune.
That's what I did.
You went to New York to seek
I'm
your
Oliver
fortune.
Twist.
You are
Yeah.
Oliver Twist, but you don't want to see it. Anyway, that breaks my
Well,
heart.
it's because I didn't have time.
You don't have time.
Come on.
But you end up rolling sort of, what was it, buttermilk biscuits for 8 hours a day, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean-
pretty much. Yeah, I mean, I think so. I was working in LA. I moved to San Francisco in a similar fashion where it was like I didn't have a job. I didn't know anyone. I knew one person. I slept on his couch. I got a job off Craigslist because that's the only way to
Great
get a
website.
job.
Yeah.
Shout out Craigslist. Craig and his list.
Yeah.
And was like, I'm going to make it work.
Yeah.
Like I had a skill, right? I was like, I know how to work in restaurants, and restaurants need people to work in them. So I like figured if I had that, I could always get a job, and I did. And after working at like a certain caliber of restaurant, you could like identify what those restaurants were and like hone in on like where you wanted to work, right? And so I did that. And then after a few years in San Francisco, I thought, I'm going to move to New York for 3 months. And then moved back to San Francisco. I was supposed to open a bakery with my old boss. Because why would I leave California? It's the greatest state in the union.
I agree.
It's perfect. Weather's amazing. People are amazing.
Yes.
It's gorgeous. It has everything you need.
It does.
And like within a month and a half of being in New York, I was like, fuck, I love it here so much. And I was like, I'm not going back.
No.
I don't think I'm going back.
Yeah.
And I mean, I moved to New York with I knew one person. I didn't have a job, but I had a lead for a job. Somebody was going to introduce me to somebody who owned a bakery where I could interview. And because I knew I didn't want to work in fine dining. I was like, I don't want to work. I'm not moving to New York to continue a fine dining career.
Yeah.
But also I was moving to New York to be there for 3 months. So I was like, I just need something low commitment that I can just kind of like do my trade. Like give me a bakery job where I can just like frost cakes for a few days or whatever. You know what I mean? Like I just needed to like get a sublet, pay rent, be in and out. But yeah, I ended up like really falling in love with New York and the pace and the energy, and was just kind of like, oh, I could like do something else here. And I didn't know what that was. And it's so wild to me that I ended up here where I am now, because there was just no way for me to know that like this even existed or it wasn't even an option. And yeah, I feel very lucky, and I feel like I always knew where I was going on some level, but like not really. I also had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah. Is this right? You ended up being a milkmaid? I mean, I can't believe I'm even saying that.
Yeah, I know.
What is a milkmaid? Phrase. For those listening, they're going like, Freddy, you've lost your mind.
I know.
Well, I have lost it.
It's what Christina Tosi, who owns Milk Bar, called the people that worked at Milk Bar.
Right.
And what is Milk Bar for those who don't know?
Milk Bar is a bakery in New York City that was part of the Momofuku family. So
It's an empire.
When Momofuku first started with Sambar and Noodle Bar and Co., Milk Bar was the first bakery that came out of that, and it was next door to Sambar.
Right.
And we did all the desserts for Co. and for Noodle Bar and for Sambar. And this was like 15 years ago that I started there. And so we were doing all the desserts there, and that was sort of appealing to me. I was like, oh, I can do restaurant desserts but not work at the restaurant.
Yeah.
And it was a completely different flavor profile, completely different sort of technique style, very different energy than the food I had been doing in California, which was like really high-end, fine dining, more Italian, French-inspired technique, and like really traditional, / like rustic, produce-driven. And this was more like, you know, flavor combo, more Asian-inspired, influence-driven, /
How early on in the Milk Bar journey did you arrive there?
They had been open 2 years, maybe.
Right.
Like at very nascent stages. We were like baking cookies and serving them that day.
Cool.
And like...
And to what degree did the way that Christina Tosi thinks about food and flavours and putting stuff together kind of blow your mind open and go, okay, there's a whole new world out there?
We were very different.
Okay.
And I think almost immediately I was like, this is not... We were... I think I was honestly more impressed with her as a businesswoman and more intrigued by her as like how she thought about... Because it was very clear very early on, like meeting her, I was like, oh, she's like, has big plans.
Yeah.
Right.
And that was really exciting to me. I think I knew, even before I stepped foot in the bakery, I was like, well, this is not necessarily my food or my vibe.
No.
But she's so smart and driven and successful that like that is really appealing to me, and I'd like to learn from her.
Well, if you want help organising your time, today's show is brought to us by Blink, which are the UK heroes flipping the POS world on its head. There are no contracts, Alison, no hidden fees, and no per device nonsense. Running a restaurant, no, but you do have a shop, and that's quite incredible.
I do.
Then you already know that most POS systems are slow, clunky, and they're daylight robbery. But Blink isn't. It's the first POS. It's so simple, Ben.
Right,
even you mastered it in minutes. And for just £69 a month, you get unlimited devices for your restaurants, proper UK 24/7 support, and zero headaches. And we're giving you a free month with the code GO2BLINK with a Q. So that's
You're really good at that.
Thank you.
Unbelievable.
That was good. Wasn't it?
Unbelievable.
People
They
don't
should be
believe
paying
you
us
do it
more.
every week.
I think that people should get awards for ad reads. I as a person who's done ad reads and I think I'm okay. Like, I'm pretty good at it.
You are very
That was unreal.
Thank you so much.
That
No one
is
gives it as
like,
much
Greg, are you listening?
yeah, for
We
real.
want more money.
That was amazing.
Sorry, thank you so
Okay,
much.
go ahead. Sorry.
Anyway, 2011, right? We're entering this sort of Bon Appetit era, HQ. How are you getting through the door there? How did you turn your back on this wonderful New York life? You're, rolling out things, cookies, and you're happy, but you're not that happy.
It was temporary. It was always supposed to be temporary. And I like turned around and I was like, wait, I've been here for like 2.5 years. And I was never supposed to be here for more than 3 months. And like, I was there for so long because I did love it. And I met some great people and made some great friends. And I had health insurance but I also was not making any money. And I wasn't doing anything that radically different than I was doing in California. And I thought if I'm going to uproot my life and move across the country to like take a big swing, I have to like take a big swing. And I have to push myself and I have to take myself out of this comfort zone. And I'm not going to do it working in a kitchen. Yeah. Even if the kitchen's great, even if it's like lovely people. And I mean, it was hard and whatever. I don't have to get into it.
We'd like to get into it.
No. Well, I had to go. It was my time. I had to go.
Really?
Yeah, I had to go.
Did you walk or had you had enough?
Freddy, don't.
Well, I'm just wondering.
No, I had to go. I think it was just like my time. It's like when it's time to leave the party. You're like, it's time to go home.
Yeah.
I just was like, I moved to New York to do something different.
Yeah.
And it was like, when it's time to go or end a relationship. It's just like, I've always been very decisive and I've always kind of known when it's time for a change. And this was no different where I was like, wait, I didn't move to New York to continue working in kitchens. I moved to New York specifically to not. What am I doing still in a kitchen? Yes. So I left. Yeah. And I didn't have a job. I didn't have anything lined up, but I was able to sort of cobble together like a bunch of odds and end jobs. And so had a friend who owned a like fried chicken and biscuit restaurant. And so she let me make biscuits there for her. I took on some like weird catering gigs. I just started putting the word out to anybody that I had met that I was like, I'm looking for work and I don't care what it is. And again, this was before Instagram. This is before LinkedIn. This is before like it was easy to find a job easier. It's not easy to find a job now, but it was before you could more easily sort of network, and access people and like message them or like find even where the jobs were. Like you couldn't even know where to look. So just word of mouth and was just like, the most effective way. Anyway, I met somebody and she told me that she knew the new editor-in-chief or the new food editor at Bon Appetit magazine, which had recently been relaunched under like a new staff and they were looking to like restaff their test kitchen. And was I interested, like maybe I could interview as like a position for recipe testing. And so I did. Like they brought me in and they were like, have you ever recipe tested before? And I was like, absolutely. And I definitely had not. Although I had like sort of recipe tested for the Milk Bar cookbook. Because they were writing the cookbook while I was there, I had helped test the recipes for that book. So technically I had.
That's enough, Alison.
But also working in a professional kitchen is basically recipe testing.
All the time.
Yeah. It's like constant recipe testing. But also I figured, well, I'll either figure it out or I won't. And so I came in for what was effectively a stage, but I guess you call that an interview when it's a real job and not a restaurant. But I had only ever worked in restaurants. I had not known any other job. And so it was to like make biscuits. Can you fucking believe that?
Unbelievable.
I know, the luck. But I did it.
So and you aced that.
I know, I did. They basically showed me a picture of biscuits and they said, can you make a recipe that looks like these biscuits? Which was a real ask. It wasn't like a test that they made up. But that was often the case at the magazine where they would have a photo shoot and the person making the food on set would kind of go off script or it was a chef or whatever and they wouldn't follow the recipe and then the test kitchen would then cook the recipe and they'd look at the photo and look at the recipe and they'd be like, these don't match at all. And then we'd have to reverse engineer it so that the home cook, when they got the magazine, it would match. This happened all the time. So that was sort of my assignment and I did it.
And it went well.
It fucking worked.
Come on.
And anyway, I got the job, but it was a temporary job. It was freelance. So again, no health insurance, temporary work. So I was working 2 jobs and just being like, one day there's going to be a spot that opens up and all. Yeah. My whole early part of my career until I was like basically 30 was me just showing up more than people asked me to and waiting for a job to open up.
There's something in that.
Yeah.
Something for people to learn from that.
I think so too. I really do. And it took me a really long time. It took me 2 years, I think, freelancing before I got put on staff. It took me 3 years until they started letting me like write for the magazine full time. It was like a pretty slow climb. And like once I was in, but like it took a long time to like, but I didn't graduate college. I had no,
You had
I
time
couldn't
on your
believe
side.
I worked at a magazine. I couldn't believe they let me write. I couldn't believe, because I wanted to be a writer in a previous life, and I was so proud of myself, and I was so excited that I worked at Condé Nast. You know, like I had a real job. It
got
wasn't
such a
just
ring
a
to it,
restaurant.
doesn't it?
Yeah, it really did. Had a real weightiness.
Yeah, it does.
And, you know, I was like, wow, I didn't graduate college. I work at a publication. I'm writing for a living. And, like, I have a real job. Like, it felt...
Feels like the start of a film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does. Oh,
Yeah.
love
I
that
felt
film.
very...
It does.
Yeah.
Now you've got your gorgeous husband as well and a beautiful baby. I mean, this is incredible.
I know. It's a great story.
I don't think you can write this up. Should we do it now?
Don't worry. Maybe one day I might. But
What-
yeah, it was...
What's that environment like in there?
In the test kitchen.
Yeah, because obviously there has now been this thing where everyone's gone on and got their own careers, and you know.
Yeah.
lots of
It was
notable
very
names.
different then.
Was it cute? Was everyone on the same team, or was it kind of cutthroat? People
It was
kind
pretty
of,
cutthroat.
Yeah.
Especially then. It was a different team then than what you've seen now. I sort of left before what you have
kinda-
witnessed.
Yeah.
I mean, again, though, when I worked there, like, it was right before Instagram even launched. Like, Bon Appetit didn't have an Instagram when I worked there.
Wow.
Like, because Instagram was used personally for people and their cats and, like, their families and their bad pictures of a plant or some shit. It was
not
like
a business tool.
No.
yeah.
And I remember, like, somebody being like, Bon Appetit should have an Instagram. And everyone was like, why would we have an Instagram? We're a magazine. And it's like, it was this very funny conversation. But it wasn't like, and also at the time, Bon Appetit, Test Kitchen did not allow us to have our individual bylines. We were sort of buried as the collective.
Wow.
So no one knew who we were.
Yeah.
It wasn't the individual. It was the Test Kitchen. And so Recipes by the Bon Appetit Test Kitchen was the byline, not
okay.
Alison Roman or Kate Chun or Mary Frances Heck. It was, no one knew who we were as individuals. So there wasn't really the room to be cutthroat. It was, unless it was, you know, so there was like less of an ego drive, although we still would be like, my photos, my recipes on the cover. And we would know it and we wanted it, of course. But that's like leftover bullshit from working in a restaurant where it's like, no one in the dining room knows shit. But like, if you're like, my dish is on the thing, or like, chef said this to me, like it's like inner working, weird, petty, cutthroat stuff that no one in the outside world cares about, versus what had bred later on after I had long left the magazine, which was sort of a more public cutthroat.
Yeah.
I'm the star. I'm the me. I'm the whatever, which like I'm really glad that I had
Nice to not have to
bowed out
Yeah, you
of.
were out of that.
Well, 2017, you obviously released your first cookbook.
Yes.
Donian, how long was that sort of in the build-up, though? And at what point did you go, like, I'm going to start working on this Bible of gastronomy?
Oh my God, Bible of Gastronomy.
Yeah.
Go on.
You can put that on the book as well, on the new book, if you're doing quotes.
I've put it on mine. I've written it on in Biro.
Good.
Well, it's funny. So so at this point, at 2015, I left Bon Appetit.
Yeah.
And right as I was leaving, I got contacted by an editor at Penguin Random House. And she was like, I would love to have lunch with you. And I was like, okay. And I was 29. And I had, at this point, been working in food for 10 years.
Yeah.
Basically, half in restaurants, half in editorial. I'm mostly in restaurants, a little bit editorial. And she goes, we went to lunch and she goes, I realized that all of the pages I rip out of the magazine have your name on it. And like, they're all your recipes. Like you're an amazing recipe writer. And I was like, oh my God, thank you so much.
Yeah, nice.
She goes, have you ever thought about writing a cookbook? And I go, oh, well, yeah, of course. Like, I'm sure I'll write one day.
Yeah.
She goes, well, you should write one now. And I go, no, I'm not ready. I was like, I'm too young and I'm not qualified. And like, I haven't like lived long enough. Like I always assumed I would write a cookbook when I was like 40.
Yeah, right.
Which is famously now.
It's a gorgeous age.
Thank you. I agree. And I just sort of thought, like, in my mind, writing a cookbook was something you did, like, when you, as like a culmination of your career or as like the next chapter of your career. And I still very much felt like I was in the middle of my career. And I was still learning. I was still learning how to write. I was still learning how to develop recipes. I was still learning what my voice was, what my style was, like my, you know, what my recipes really were. And she's like, well, it takes a long time to write a cookbook. She's like, will you be ready to write a cookbook in 2 years? And I go, yeah. She's like, well, then you better start now. And I was like, okay. And
wow. And how quickly, once pressed like that, did the ideas form and you were like, oh, this could be the book?
I mean, from then I got an agent And then you basically write a table of contents and a proposal. And I was sort of like stressed because at that time, all the popular cookbooks were like sheet pan meals, pasta dinners, 30-minute da-da-da, very theme oriented. And I was like, that's not really me. And I asked my editor, I said, do you think it's okay if I just wrote a book of recipes that were like me?
Yeah.
And she's like, well, no one really knows who you are. And like, that works if you're a celebrity, but like, you're you. And like, she didn't want to be rude, but she was just like, no one knows who you are. And I was like, I know, but like, kind of like, not to be like, but they will, I didn't want to be arrogant, but it was more just like, I didn't want to write a book that wasn't me.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of like, this is the book I have. And it's a book of really great recipes. And if that's why you want me to write a book, then that's the book you should let me write. If you come to me saying you write great recipes, then that's the book you should commission from me. Recipes. Not like you write amazing sheet pan recipes.
Yeah.
And so she said, okay. And she was very high up at the publisher. So she was able to like push it through, and that was Dining In. And so I wrote a table of contents that was basically like what was my dream cookbook. And it was like broken down by like vegetables and meat and fish and breakfast foods and snacks and whatever and dessert. And it was just kind of like a well-rounded collection of recipes. And so I hadn't been spending my whole life on it, but it had a lot of recipes that like, this was the trout my mom made when I was growing up. And this is the first pasta recipe I learned how to make. And it is, in a sense, every recipe that means something to you up until that point, because no one's heard from me from that until then.
It's like a first album, isn't it?
Yes. It's your debut. It's your introduction to the world. This is who I am, but also this is who I am today. I'm 32.
Yeah.
I've worked in kitchens. This is a technique I picked up at my second restaurant job. This is the story about the biscuits. It's sort of like, hello world.
Who were you inspired by? Were you sort of a fanatic in terms of reading other cookbooks? Lady Di, was she an inspiration?
I love Lady Di.
Yeah.
I always have.
Yeah.
I love Lady Di. I love River Cottage books.
Yeah.
I love a lot of UK authors.
Yeah.
Like I always have. I've always gravitated towards them.
Max's World of Sandwiches book?
It's probably not on there for me.
Okay.
It's Bible in my home. Okay. A Bible of gastronomy in my home.
Yeah.
I loved a lot of books that were like the more like written books, like Laurie Colwin and Judith Jones, and sort of like biographies about writing cookbooks, and Alice Waters, and very influential to me in like writing style that felt like really personal, because I felt like if I didn't care about the person, I didn't really care about the food.
Yeah.
And that's something Diane Henry always did really well, I thought. I've never really cooked from cookbooks. That's like not my bag. And I think most professional chefs would agree.
Yeah,
and
they
it's
play
not
a different role.
Totally. Yeah. It's not a statement against like they're not good enough. It's more just like most professional chefs don't find themselves cooking other people's recipes in the same way, and that like other musicians don't perform other people's music. Like it's like
so true. I never thought about it like
that. They write their own music and they listen to other people's music. Like I eat other people's food, but I don't cook other people's recipes. So, anyway, so that was my first book, and it was a 2-book deal, so I knew I had another one that I could write after that. But
it went quite well.
Yeah, it went really well. It went as well as I could expect, but I didn't expect anything.
No.
Because I didn't have anything to compare it to.
2019, they're nothing fancy. Come on.
Yeah.
That is one of the greatest cookbooks of all time.
Oh my God, thank you.
I mean, they're all incredible.
Thank you.
But that is the one I've used more than any other book.
Thank you. I really
the amount of times I've done that harissa pork, just slow. Yeah. Cook it slow, Ben.
I always
cook it
and
really
then, you know what? You have friends round and you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
You bring it out.
Add the greens at the end,
gorgeous.
forget it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And
I've done it an embarrassing amount of time. I'm actually getting quite emotional here.
Don't get emotional.
Oh, I am. Because,
Don't cry. Not here.
I'm going to try not to cry. But it's a beautiful book. New York Times bestseller. But in between then, you start writing properly for the New York Times.
Yes.
Did that open up your world? I mean, that must be an ambition for all great, sort of columnists and stuff like that. It's a huge
I mean,
thing.
that was another very emotional milestone for me, given that I didn't graduate college. And I don't want to harp on that, because I think a lot of people now don't go to college or graduate at all, or it's less necessary or thought of as like this thing. But for me, I felt like it's like the highest end publication and like a mark of such intelligence and like highbrow and whatever that to me, I was like, I'm like being valued for my brain and my intelligence and my whatever, as well as my skill. Even if other people may have not seen it that way, I saw it that way. And so I felt really proud of myself for that.
Amen.
And so that felt really cool. Yeah, and so that was great. Dining or Nothing Fancy, another example of me telling my editor I wanted to do a book about entertaining effectively or having people over, but reframing it as not entertaining, having people over. And she goes, entertaining books don't sell. I don't think we can do that. And I was like, but I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it differently, and it's going to work. And she was like, okay, like really took a chance on it, and it ended up outselling the first book, and now everybody does entertaining books. But I think doing something that doesn't work is a good choice always, because it doesn't work until it does.
Yeah.
And
the publishing world is built on following successes.
Yes.
As in something's working, so let's do 20 books like that.
And I hate that.
Yeah. But it is hard to convince people
always.
to sidestep.
Always.
So you
and you
must
don't
be very
always nail
convincing.
it. You don't always nail it, and you can't always nail it. And I know that not every... But I don't. And there's plenty of choices I make that don't always land. But because I'm constantly trying to do... Like, if you said this is what works and this is what's popular, I'm going to be like, well, I'm going to do the opposite. And that is not always going to be successful. No. That's obviously not a formula for success, because otherwise everybody would do that. But, like, for me, it's like, that is, to me, how I make a lot of my choices. I really try to do, like, the counter.
On an individual recipe level, because you are responsible for quite a lot of viral recipes. You're very good at those.
Yeah.
Do you get a feeling that a recipe is going to, it's kind of got something about it, it's going to be, it's easy and da-da-da?
No.
Or, no,
No, but I also think around the time that most of my recipes, quote unquote, went viral, it was also a very specific time of the internet where Instagram had really reached a crescendo of, like, people sharing food and recipes on it. My book had come out. Like, the popularity of, like, food content, like, was, like, really in this position. It was, like, positioned in this way. Like, when the cookies... what became really popular on the internet, I hadn't seen a recipe do that at all before.
No.
It was sort of the first time. And so, of course, it stood out. It happens probably now a lot and often to many people, but we just don't notice it as much because it happens a lot.
Yeah.
And just like anything where it's like, kind of feels like everyone's famous now. Whereas 50 years ago, it was like you had like 8 celebrities.
Yeah.
It's just, it doesn't mean they're more or less famous than the people that are famous now. It's just, they were the only famous people. So it feels like it was a bigger deal, because it was, because there were just fewer things that had achieved that success in that way. But I think also because it had come from a book. It didn't come from the internet. It was not a native internet recipe. It was born in a book.
Yeah.
And it became so popular on the internet. And that to me is like one of the greatest achievements.
So cool.
To like have something that is not digitally native achieve such success online, to me is like, that's something that also I don't think can happen anymore.
No, maybe not.
I'm guessing now you definitely are at the point where you don't have to sort of, dance to someone else's tune in terms of when you release a book, whatever.
Oh, I still do.
You still do?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, you still do have to dance. But ultimately,
absolutely.
we were speaking to Lorraine Pascal, who was a big, she was a big recipe writer, wasn't she? She's multi-million books sold about 10 years ago. And then she sort of got out because she was like, I just ran dry a bit. But like the pressures of having, and then she was like, I was actually just not stealing, but borrowing people's and developers' recipes around her. Didn't feel like hers. She got out of the game. I wanted to say, what's been the hardest book to write? Because obviously you've done 4, they're all, different in a way, but obviously got your incredible touch. But
probably the dessert book.
Yeah.
Because I was a professional pastry chef. So one might think that was like the easiest book to write, but in a way it was the hardest because my pastry recipes are... Well, also desserts are the hardest to execute.
True.
And because I've sort of built my whole career on recipes that are easy and like achievable and look great, are accessible, whatever, to really make sure that holds true even in a dessert book was challenging. And I did my best, but there are like a few recipes where I'm like, you do need a mixer, and like this is going to take a few hours, and you do need a freezer space, and like, but it's a great recipe and you're going to love it if you do want to do it. But by virtue of the fact that it is all desserts, like it is going to deviate a little bit from like my core mission and like my total value system. And just also like finding like 120, like I'm not totally a dessert person, but like having a collection of really solid recipes that you can go to and be like, well, if you're going to own a dessert book, this is a good one to own, like feels really good. And I'm glad that I did it. Because there's a lot of like classics in there, like a great basic chocolate sheet cake and like great pie crust and awesome galettes and like kind of solid, stable tea cakes and like stuff like that. But it was challenging because also I can roast a chicken and be like, that's a perfect recipe and move on. Or like slow roast a pork shoulder with the things, and then be like, oh, I want it a little spicier, and then just make a change and like
or chicken
kind of
stock,
know that it's
also
perfect.
mushroom butter.
Exactly.
I'm getting emotional again, Alison. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But something from nothing is something where you can come back from work at like 6 o'clock in the evening and still cook something beautiful.
Yes.
That's why it's a gorgeous book as well, right?
Yes.
You don't have to plan, like you were saying, 3 hours in the freezer or...
In a way, that was the easiest book to write because it also came the most naturally.
Yeah.
And it was such I didn't have to overthink any of it.
Yeah.
It was like, because the mission was so clear. Like, I didn't have to, like, with nothing fancy, you want to be like, okay, is this impressive enough? But is it also easy enough? And you really have to like dig in there. And this was just like, is it easy enough? And am I truly staying true to the core value mission of the book, which is like, you're making something from nothing. Like, of course, a lot of the recipes could be more complicated. You could add more ingredients. You could make them a little bit more fussy or more interesting, but like that's not the point of the book. You know?
Do you have shares in sort of anchovy company?
I wish I did.
You should,
No, okay.
I really wish I
Because you
could.
really, sort of put them on the map and then some.
I know.
What is the obsession? Why? I mean, they're just great little natural seasonings.
They're great.
Great little flavour bombs.
Yeah.
They're fantastic. They taste so different in such different applications, and they're shelf stable. They're crazy delicious. They're like, they look beautiful when they're whole. They melt effortlessly into a pan of hot oil. They can be mashed into butter. They can be like whisked into a dressing. They are just like, they're awesome.
Yeah.
They taste great with tomato paste. They taste great with just like garlic. They taste great. Like, I don't know. They're always
unbelievable.
the answer.
Yeah.
Can we get a couple of recipes from the book for those listening? I mean, obviously we're going to link it in the pod notes, and everyone's going to have to get a hold of it because it's a wonderful book. But it's a Sunday currently. I'm going to go home and cook later.
Good.
What should I be cooking? I can't do the orzo just because like
You
I've done it
just
4 times
simply
in a
can't.
week.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. What do you normally do on Sunday? Do you do like something
What do
cozy?
you normally do?
Well, you cook most days, don't you? Sunday, I'm normally having a Vietnamese around the corner, but I've just eaten too much this week that I'm going to cook
sounds
at home.
good, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I do like to do something cozy actually.
Yeah.
You can do cozy. Okay, you know what? Something that I really like to do on a Sunday, I like to do like a casual braise, like not an all-day braise, but there's a braised chicken piccata in the book where you do like legs, like whole quartered chickens. It's like very, very saucy. I feel like with chicken piccata, I always wish there was more of the sauce, and you could serve it with like a beautiful like bowl of buttered noodles, like either egg noodles or like some type of like
Austrian heritage a little bit.
yeah,
as well,
it's kind
which
of
is nice.
cool.
Beautiful.
It's like
Yeah.
like on the side with like some parsley. It makes it feel like a big complete
Yeah.
thing, and like a big peppery salad.
Oh.
That's what I would do. And like the chicken, like there's so much sauce in the chicken that it is almost pie-like, but not.
Yeah.
If that makes
Gorgeous.
sense.
That's
I'm
a
using
great
pie because I'm in the United
Well, what are you going to be
Kingdom.
doing today? Because you're looking for a restaurant.
I am.
What are you thinking?
After this, I'm going to hopefully go to a museum, and then
Good.
I am because they're free here.
Yeah,
They are free.
Which is you should
Just
melt
walk
them.
in.
Beautiful.
Yeah, just
I'm gonna walk in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then hopefully the baby naps, and then we are hopefully going to go to dinner, an early dinner, like a 5:30 Sunday
Where are we
dinner.
thinking? Come on.
Thinking the Heart,
Yes.
Yeah.
perhaps.
Yes.
Yeah. It's close by. We're staying in central London. We want to be able to walk. Have to go with the baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot to consider.
Oh.
A lot to consider.
A lot of pressure
Across the
when Alison Roman walks in there.
I
just
know.
opened.
And you know what? Oh, they just opened.
Well, recently.
Yeah.
isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I made a promise to myself that I was going to go to new places to meet. They don't have to be a new restaurant,
yeah,
but the temptation is too great to only return to the restaurants that I want to go to again and again.
I would
and
go
again.
there. We also inspired the layout of that place. James told us that, didn't he? We didn't really. Jeremy King came on the podcast, who was a great restaurateur, and told a story which they listened to, and now there aren't any corner
Wait, what
tables.
is the story? Tell me quickly.
The success of a dining room in a restaurant
Yes.
can hinge on how many corner tables there are. Corner tables are good for conversation, for creating a nice atmosphere.
You're talking about like the one in the the corner booth.
Yeah,
as
so
it
like
were.
rather than having lots of lined up twos
Yes.
or fours,
Yes.
you create little corners.
Yes.
And so
Cozy.
people can look at each
That's
other.
what I'm
and it's
saying. I
cozy,
want
and it's
cozy.
cute.
Yes.
And they were just designing the restaurant at the time. They heard that and were like, ooh, architect.
should
Let's have some more corners.
Well, that's why I liked the Pelican, because I felt like it was deeply cozy.
Yeah,
It
cozy.
was so cozy.
They're good at cozy.
Okay.
Just about the typography of the book.
Yeah.
It's a glorious looking thing, isn't it?
Thank you.
It's very different to the first three in many ways.
Yes. That was a
It
very
reminded me a bit of
intentional.
Delia at times, like a bit old school but beautiful.
Yeah, very old
Am I
school.
right? Or am
yeah,
I losing
yeah.
it?
I
Could be losing
went very old
And
school.
does that come from you?
Yeah.
Are you across everything? Again, like Lady
Yes.
Di. She's, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think you have to be. I mean, I think I can't imagine not being involved in everything. I cook all the food in the book. There's no food stylist. It's like I make everything. I'm picking all the props. A lot of the bowls and plates and pots and pans are just mine. We shot everything in my kitchen. It's like very
lovely.
It is what it is, and it is me. And I work with an incredible designer. His name is Britt Cobb, and he is just such a delightful human. He's so smart and talented. And I gave him a great mood board, and he pulled, some great presentations, and we kind of whittle it down. And it's like, okay, too far this, too much that, this is perfect. And he gets real typography nerd. He's just like, look at the way the Y intersects with the this, and
Oh, it's a joy.
And we really went hard on the serif, but I think it's reactionary because dining in, every book at the time was like very serious and felt very heavy, both in tone and in visual. And so I wanted like a very brightly lit, sort of Californian, sunshiny, sans serif vibe. And now all the books feel that way. And 8 years later, I'm sort of like, I'm ready for something that feels a bit richer, a bit cozier, a bit more lived in. And I think, but because the contents of the book are that. It's like soups and stews and pastas and lentils and like it's a cozy book.
It's a winter country walk to the pub.
Yeah, it's a beautiful hug. It's a nice sweater.
It's hot chocolate by the fire.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
It's a nice sweater.
We're all being led by AI in everything we do. Has that
terrifying.
crept into the food world at all? In your world?
I'm sure it has.
Must not in your world.
I don't want to know. Oh, I bet it has. I bet you people use it. I bet people that do what I do use it.
But not Alison Roman. Not putting in a collection of ingredients going, what can I cook?
No, I've never used it.
Well, on the way here this morning, I just saw a graph shared by a journalist called Amal Rajan, who is a big journalist here, showing since 2015 to now, AI versus human-created internet stuff. And it was like 99% human until a year ago. And it's now 50-50.
Terrifying.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people
it's crazy.
Won't be able to tell the difference in some things. And I was just telling the story the other day that in the States, there are open AI commercials being ran on Instagram, like ads. And there was one that it was like a young guy cooking for this girl on a first date. And it was like, what should I cook on a first date that's like, I like you, but not too much? And it was like, you want something that says, I like you, but not too much. Lemony, garlicky, tomato pasta. And then it spit out a recipe that wasn't authored by anyone. Like, it wasn't like, you want, Nigella Lawson's da-da-da. It was like, you just want this generic thing. And obviously, cribbing from people like me and like, just very scary. It's fine. I think like I kind of have to put blinders on, not unlike this sort of content creator TikTokification of the food world, because what I do is so deeply personal and so deeply human and soulful. And I think food and cooking is so very, very human. And I'm not naive enough to think that AI won't come for that or try to come for that, especially with regards to recipe writing specifically. But I do think that when it comes to actually cooking and the writing part of the like personal stories and the narrative and the way that I write recipes, it will of course eventually try to be replicated. And of course somebody will be like, write me a recipe like Alison Roman. That is already being done, I'm sure.
100%.
People are already doing that. I can't stop
But then the fact that people still buy recipe books in their numbers and love having those, even though they could access free stuff online,
of course,
does prove that we still believe in people.
I think we believe in people too. And I do think that there's a place above all, like for actual books and having collections of things in that way, even if things exist on the internet.
I think people will return to what things were like pre-AI at some point. It's going to go too far.
Will get a little
I've had
fatigued.
enough. A bit like Test cricket, if you're a fan.
Whomst? Okay.
Could you give us a quick guide to New York? I mean, if we are coming for 48 hours, where...
Are you really only going for 48 hours?
No.
We're there for a week and a half.
We're there for
just
a
thank
month.
God.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, just some restaurants, some places to go eat.
Yes. Okay. Well, King, obviously.
Yes.
I know you'll go there. Servos, I always put people on to because I think it's just like a great people watching, martini, oysters, shrimp. You got to just go there. Keen's is a great steakhouse. It's like, to me, a very New York restaurant, which we have very few of now in New York. Le Veau d'Or, which is a French restaurant, but to me is a very New York restaurant. It's not cheap if you're drinking, but if you're not drinking, It's nice.
We'll be drinking.
I know.
Sadly.
Well, then just be
Most
prepared.
of my life I'm hungover.
Just be prepared.
Yeah.
But it is I think it's one of New York's oldest restaurants that it was sort of like pub style where like they sold it and then somebody took it over and like breathed new life into it, but didn't change really anything. So it's kind of frozen in time.
Good martini there, right?
Insane.
Yeah.
Perfect. All the drinks
I
there
think
are
Jess
good.
mentioned that. She said it's
But it's like, in French food. But like prefix menus, but casual. It's perfect.
Great.
What else? Haas Snack Bar. Very small restaurant. When are you going?
January.
Early,
Oh, okay.
early
Their
next
new
year.
restaurant might be open by then.
Okay.
If their new
They got a
restaurant
new
is
one.
open by then, they're opening a bistro.
Perfect timing.
Which I think I am allowed to say.
Yeah.
You can say what you
Okay.
want.
Well, I don't know if it's public. That's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
no.
Okay. Well, who cares?
Always good to build the hype up.
You're like, no one
Yeah.
listens to this.
Yeah,
podcast.
no,
I'm just
no,
kidding.
no,
I know
listen.
that's not true.
No, it doesn't.
What else? I always go to Wu's Wonton King, which is really close to Servo's. It's Cantonese style. It's BYO. And so
Nice.
a good move is like, if you're like, I don't want to go to another fucking cool restaurant in New York.
Right.
I mean, it's to me very cool.
Yeah.
But like, I just don't want to like make the reservation and
Yeah,
do this
yeah, yeah.
stupid thing. I just want really good food.
Yeah.
And I want to get a sick bottle of wine.
Yeah.
And I just want to go and like do the thing. That's a great
That's
place
the
to
place.
do it. Yeah, I think so.
Are we going to see you doing any videos? Sort of, I can just picture you now, the female Stanley Tucci in a way, but like showing off Europe to America.
Oh, I mean, I would love that.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Right. Again, should we
Let's
sign
work
the
on the
contract?
Yeah.
Let's work on it
Who
together.
wants to pay me to travel around Europe to show America Europe?
Yes.
Oh, we get that done.
Because does
I
that
think
exist?
a lot of people would. Well,
Yeah.
they paid Tucci, didn't they?
They
Someone's
sure
paying
did.
Tucci.
Yeah.
Someone's paying him to do something,
Yeah.
but he had to move to Europe
Yeah,
to get that gig.
That's okay.
He had to
Yeah.
marry a Brit.
Yeah, true.
True.
Are you
Is it-
guys?
is it
I
too-
mean, I'm already married, but
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Well, no.
I'm sure my husband would be down for the family.
He wants a commission.
let's
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, ultimately, let's think about the kid here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, he knows. We got
Yeah,
a
yeah.
mouth to feed.
Yeah.
Oh, we can make this
We got to
happen,
show off
really.
Europe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alice, we need to release you to the museums of this world, but we are going to finish
I
this
know.
in quickfires.
Okay, let's do it.
What's your favourite foodie scent?
Come on.
My foodie scent?
Yeah, favourite
It's-
smell.
we
Foodie
get that
smell.
reaction a lot.
Brown butter.
Brown butter. Oh, we had that the other
That's
day.
the best. Was it?
Lady Di, wasn't it? Yeah, it's glorious.
What's the worst food fad?
Collabs.
Lambs, nice.
Even the word. Woof.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. You've taken out the whole
Yep.
current food industry
I know. I'm
in
sorry.
one sweep. I love
Sorry
that.
to say.
That's what we need.
Well, let's go to some locations. And your go-to weeknight restaurant, nothing fancy, if you pardon the pun, but,
Rucola. You don't know it.
no,
because-
just give us a line,
The internet.
a
knows
subline.
Oh, what it is?
Yeah.
What's the restaurant?
Yeah.
Oh, Rucola is my local nothing fancy restaurant. It's on the corner. It's no frills. They rarely change the menu. I know every single person who works there. They're amazing. I love the staff. Perfectly lit restaurant.
that. Nice.
You're in and out. Great wines by the glass.
Oh, wow.
What's the order?
Normally we get 2 glasses of red wine. We'll share a pasta and maybe they have like a trout with olives and a salad.
Oh,
My water broke outside the restaurant.
Really?
Yeah.
wow.
Just fun fact.
That's
a
amazing.
beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Just off some trout.
Thank you. Yeah.
What about a place for a celebratory supper, like a blowout dinner? You're really celebrating.
In New York, I'd say the Grill, Keen's, Levaudor.
Perfect.
3 good
Go-to
spots.
pub? You probably don't have a go-to pub. Go-to pub?
We don't have
bar.
pubs.
Or bar.
Do you like the pub?
I love pub culture here.
Go
I
on.
love it.
Go
we
on.
don't have pub culture in New York, so it's such a novel experience to me. They're divine. They're so fun.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with it. We don't have enough time to do it on this podcast, but like I have so many questions about it.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
who's
when we come out to New York, we'll do
yeah.
another one.
Okay.
Do a pub special.
Yeah, we'll do a pub special.
We have bars. We have dive bar. We have great dive bar culture, and that's sort of like the most comparable thing.
Do you have a go-to dive bar?
I mean, I used to. Sunny's and Red Hook.
Tons.
Yeah.
Favorite hidden gem?
You know what I'll say this isn't, you didn't ask this question, but
Oh.
I'll use this platform responsibly. And what
Please.
I'll say is that, especially in New York and perhaps maybe even in London, but especially in New York, I just want to say a general shout out to regular ass restaurants.
Amen.
In that it doesn't have to be on a fucking list and no one has to tell you to go there, and just go to a restaurant, because sometimes that's great and you're not going to run into anyone you know, and just have a meal.
Absolutely. Just walk into a spot.
Just like grab
It
a
looks half
glass
decent,
of like
go in.
regular wine and just, you might surprise yourself.
But were you inspired to go to Cafe Deco because of the podcast? I mean, I know you're a loyal listener.
No, I know the chef, Augusta.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I've long wanted to go there. It's been on my list.
And I'm pleased you did.
Thought you had it on the pod. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you paint for us your dream food or like foodie weekend? So you're going somewhere 48 hours, eat some restaurants. Where are you going? We like it when people get on a plane for it.
Yeah. If I'm not going to London, which I genuinely think is one of the best restaurant cities in the world, I'm probably going to Mexico City.
Okay, nice.
I'm going to Mexico City. I'm having lunch at Contramar. I'm having like some tacos in between. I'm having like a very long lunch at Contramar. I know it's classic and basic and whatever, and everyone goes there, but it's awesome. It's a great place.
It's good, yeah.
I don't know where I'm going for dinner, but someone who I know that lives there or has recently been there is going to tell me where to go.
Okay.
It's going to be like a sort of late-ish, like sexy dinner. And then in the morning, it's going to be like a Saturday or Sunday. So there's going to be like a Saturday or Sunday special, like birria or something going on the street. That's what I'm going to have in the morning. Go to a market, have some like tlayudas or quesadillas on the street. Like just doing lots of like snacking throughout the day. And then like some sort of early dinner situation.
Sounds unbelievable.
Got to do sushi in the airport, apparently.
In Mexico
City Airport. Yeah, we had a, what's his name again? Santiago
Lastra.
who's got the only Michelin-star Mexican restaurant in London.
Oh, I met him and I ate there.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that
was delicious.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
Well, he said you'll have sushi in the airport. Well, I said my guts will. I can't risk it.
Yeah, I would trust him, but
really?
But yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
I think it's like a fair policy across the board.
Yeah.
Airport and sushi.
Yeah.
We can say no.
Yeah.
But also, it's probably fine.
In Mexico. Yeah. Anyway. Alison, you've been incredible. We finished with the last question. I'm sorry we kept you so long, but you're just wonderful.
Oh,
and you're only over.
You're like, I'm going to cut it in half in post.
No, I fucking love it. It was all going out. What is your go-to 3-course meal? Put together your greatest 3 courses.
In a restaurant. In any restaurant.
Ever.
Oh, ever.
So you could have a dish from a restaurant, your mum's old,
God.
trout, or whatever you're feeling today. I don't know.
Well, I can't do that. That's crazy talk. Okay.
Just ruin the podcast.
No. Fuck me though. Okay. Shrimp cocktail.
Lovely.
A perfect Caesar salad or wedge salad. Toss up. And then like a perfect ribeye with like a brown butter, like garlic lemon situation over top. Beautiful. Like that's like a obviously classic steakhouse. But each thing has to be perfect.
Are we doing a pudding?
You said 3 courses.
Yeah. No, we've got to finish with a sweet, don't we?
Well, that's 4 courses.
4
but okay.
courses.
Yeah. We'll give you the extra ones.
I would do a key lime pie.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, Alison Roman,
which is extremely American, I think.
Well,
do you guys have that?
You are
here?
American.
We have it.
I know,
here.
So
famously.
Don't worry about it.
It's not part of the culture.
Well, you enjoy one, don't you?
I love a key, but it's not part of the culture.
No. Well, we can get it here. Alison, thank you so much for coming.
Thank
You're
you
absolutely
for
incredible.
having me.
Have a wonderful time. I hope you have a great supper. We'll see you in New York in January.
Sure yeah.
The final question is, what song do you want us to play you out with? You can pick any song in the world. Ideally a live version, so we don't get copyright strike.
A live version?
Yeah. Well, so the band's big enough that they'll have a live version we can play.
What was I just listening to on my way over here? It was a cover of an Elton John song.
By Dua Lipa, was it? No.
No. It was a cover of Your Song. Your Song, is that what it's called? By somebody. Can I go get it and tell you? Okay, because it was really good, and maybe you could play it because it's not Elton John.
Yeah.
I mean, Elton's very sweet. He always
was
it
a female singer?
No.
Interesting.
But it's old.
I could cover it for you if you want.
No, it's very old.
We have done we've done the occasional thing where we can't find the song, and then Ben and I end up covering it.
But I was like, damn, this
they
is a
go
really
very
good
well.
cover. Leo.
Or we get Jay Rayner on the piano.
Yeah, Rayner's good on the keys.
Yeah,
sorry, say it again.
Leo. Your Song.
Leo, Your Song. Well, Alison, here it is. Thank you so much for coming in.
Read it
Enjoy
out,
the
Freddy.
museum. I'm sorry. Leo Nocentelli, Your Song. Grazie, ciao.
Grazie, ciao. I don't
Thank
think
you so
it's
much.
But
Thank you.
yeah.
That was written.